Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me to another episode of Music with Nick. I'm super excited. Today we get to do a new marathon by Michael. And this is a marathon in response to JK's marathon. And give me just 1 second because I'm going to read a couple of lines here that I got as a little guide, by Michael. So, it says here, how's it going? Hope you're enjoying the upcoming spring in Colorado. Not yet. We're just getting bombarded with snow. Like last week, I mean, literally we had, I don't know, maybe over 10 inches of snow, or I think it was like 15 inches, if I'm not mistaken. And I was like, my voice sounds different. So yeah, I mean, it is officially spring, but not yet in Colorado. And we just got another, last week, some snow. So yeah, it's just, Colorado doing what it does with the weather. You never really know. But, it says here, first of all, thank you, Michael, for sponsoring the video. Thanks everybody for being here, for watching, for listening, for being, patient with me and all that good stuff. So as it says here, as I mentioned, coming up with another marathon quickly, but I wanted to respond to JK's marathon of protest songs. Oh boy, let's see what kinds of trouble I'm going to get into this time. I'm just kidding. But he got some great classics in there, very powerful, and I wanted to continue the thread. So here's my marathon. More protest songs, the 80s and beyond. I think you've heard most of these artists, but there are a couple of newbies for you. I searched pretty thoroughly, and I don't think you've done this Peter Gabriel song yet, nor have you done Midnight Oil songs. No, I have not. I mean, Peter Gabriel, from the name, I'm sure haven't, but you may have heard them before. So I don't know, Midnight Oil, I think I've heard like one or two, and then Peter Gabriel, yes, I've heard a lot, but this one I don't think so. So I don't even know how to, so first of all, before I begin with this whole thing, just take into account that I've barely been living here for, not even a decade. So I've been living in Germany all of my life. So there's a lot of stuff that I don't understand when it comes to the time. Like, for example, in the last one, there were words like the heat that I didn't understand, that, they're referring to it as the police, because that's, that was the way you said it in the 60s or 70s. So there's a lot of things that I'm not going to understand, and then I'm going to misinterpret. There's a lot of things that I'm going to mispronounce as well, because my first language is German and Italian, and then I learned Spanish, and then I learned English. So there's a lot of, language barrier also when I listen to music. That's why I listen to a lot of music without lyrics. That's just my personal preference. When I listen to music, I listen to a lot of jazz, a lot of classical music, a lot of guitar, instrumental music, jazz fusion. So I'm not really used to taking in lyrics and processing them immediately. So that's, you'll if you know me, if you know the channel, you'll kind of like see that. Okay. So I just wanted to give you a heads up, and I wasn't born in the 60s or 70s. So there's a lot of things that I'm not going to understand. I didn't live through those times. So that's like where a lot of people are like, oh my God, why are you smiling, and stuff like that. So I just wanted to make that clear before, because sometimes I do, spark out some kind of reaction in people because they're new to the channel and they have no idea who I am and stuff like that. So I just wanted to lay this out before I start, because yeah, sometimes people just take it the wrong way, and I don't want people to do that, because I don't mean any disrespect or anything. I'm just, I'm just a musician who loves music, and I'm just gonna react to the music and the lyrics. Let's see what happens. Okay. All right. So the first one is, so this one I don't even know if I'm gonna pronounce correctly. If it's Biko or Biko, I think it's Biko. But hey, by Peter Gabriel from the Peter Gabriel 3 1980 album. This is a apartheid protest song. So I have no idea what that is. Inspired by the death of the black anti-apartheid activist Stephen Biko in police custody. Okay, so I have no idea what that means. I'm gonna look it up right now. But for example, I've never heard of Stephen Biko. The second one is "Beds Are Burning" by Midnight Oil from the Alum, Diesel and Dust, 1987. This song was inspired by the band's tour of the Australian outback and witnessing the harsh living conditions for the native Aboriginal communities, and how these communities were often forcibly removed from their lands by colonists, taken from the sixth studio album. So that, I mean, I can understand, that is still going on to this day all around the world. So let's check it out. And then number 3, it's "A Hard Life Wherever You Go" by Nanci Griffith from the album Storms 1989. Known for her folk and country album, Nanci moved in a more pop direction with this 8th studio album. This track has a strong folk background, and it explores a deep commentary of the difficulties of life with so much hatred and racism in the world. The song is a call to action, encouraging the listener to break the cycle of hardship and negativity. That's awesome. That's good. That's what we need. There's so much also misunderstanding nowadays. A lot of people, what I think that is happening a lot nowadays with racism. Sometimes a lot of people are labeled as racists or bigots just because they have a different opinion. I don't think that's fair, but I just see that a lot. I know what racism is. I know, but some people kind of like twist it out of proportion, or twist it out of the I just see that a lot nowadays, with social media. Like, if you don't like my music, you're racist, kind of that kind of stuff, which is totally bizarre. Okay, number 4, "Black Boys on Mopeds" by Sinead O'Connor from the album I Do Not Want What I've Got, 1990. This powerful song from a second studio album refers to an incident in London where the police pursued Nicholas Bramble under the suspicion that he had stolen the moped he was riding. It was his own. He lost control and died in a crash trying to evade the police. Oh, wow. And O'Connor took the stance that the police racially profiled him. I mean, yes, that happens a lot. The song is a larger critique on Margaret Thatcher's England at the time. So Margaret Thatcher, I do know, of course, because the first time I heard about her was in Pink Floyd's The Final Cut. Actually, that's when I asked my mom, "Who's Margaret Thatcher?" But we were still, I think we were living in Mexico at the time. So, but she knew. And then the last one is "Not Ready to Make Nice" by the Chicks from the album Taking the Long Way, 2006, written and performed by country trio The Chicks. Tells the story of the backlash they faced after they openly criticized George W. Bush's stance on his invasion of Iraq. Lead singer Maine said, "We don't want this war, this violence, and we're ashamed that the president of the United States is from Texas." Ooh, okay. This prompted burnings of their albums, bans by radio stations of their music, and even death threats against the band. This was taken from the 7th studio album and found the band moving toward a more political social justice direction. So that, for example, I don't even know what to say. You know, I'm not American and I'm not from Texas, but I'm sure that people from Texas were pretty pissed off, you know. I mean, it's just like, you know, but I get it, you know. There's other bands that I do know, like Rage Against the Machine, and they're very anti politics and anti-war and stuff like that. But hey, let's get into it. It says here, okay, that's just a line by Michael from me that I hope I enjoy, and I will. But like I said, there's a lot of things that I might, you know, misinterpret, or oh my God, this is like the longest intro ever. But yeah, that's just, you know, that's just the way I interpret songs. I'm not a politician, nor do I want to be. I'm not into politics, nor do I want to be. So just take it, you know, with a grain of salt, everything here, as they say, because yeah, first of all, I don't want to get into any kind of negativity here. And, you know, so just a heads up, you know. All right. Okay. All right. So here we go with, I think it's Biko or Biko, but you guys will let me know. But hey, Peter Gabriel, I think, is a genius musically, and I saw him live, and I was just blown away by the talent that this man has given us, and the musicians, and just everything that night was amazing. So here we go with the with Peter Gabriel. All right, everyone. So I did have to cut out the beginning of the song, and because I thought it was in German, but it's not. We're just gonna start it. Gonna start it again, and because there is a German version of the song, and Spotify for some reason showed me the German lyrics, and I was super excited. But I have him right here pulled up in English now. So let's start over again the song. Wow. Yeah. So I read a little bit. So first of all, the music. I loved the. I don't know. The music was very emotional. Those bagpipes. Oh man, that sound just gives me chills. And the way he was singing, Biko. Um, so good. I mean, Peter Gabriel. He's such an amazing musician. Everything he touches, turns to like gold. Honestly, it's not. I'm not even kidding. But you guys already know that. But about the situation, it's crazy. The injustice that happened and still happens, and but I think in this case it was against a someone who wanted peace. And they always. That's what I've seen a lot in American history, but also like I've seen it in Mexico, and just like there's all the ones that get a voice, and then they call him, they called him a terrorist. Imagine. So he was brutally beaten to death, pretty much. He had a brain hemorrhage and by police, if I understand correctly. And then he was even, instead of taking to the hospital when he was already dead, but he died in a prison cell. So the injustice, but they've done this. People have done this throughout the course of history. They, like with Bob Marley, was such a positive person, and the messages in his songs. Oh my God. If you have not listened to Bob Marley, please do. And then, there were assassination attempts, and I'm pretty sure, like, yes, he died of cancer, but I mean, there was this incident, that when he put on a boot, and I don't want to be like, the tinfoil hat kind of guy, but people are gonna, if they want someone dead, it's gonna happen. So it's just crazy. And what I always say, because the racism is so strong, not just in this country, but I mean, in the entire world. The sad thing about this, that people are not born racists. I've seen babies, like children, like play together. There's no hate. There's no, oh my God, you have a different skin color or different traditions. It's basically taught. Racism is something that people teach, and that's the sad thing about this, because it shouldn't exist. Just because someone is different, because their skin color is different, that's crazy. That's still an issue, in 2024, and it's still literally the same. Like, this song is from it happened in 77, right? But that this is still such a big problem nowadays. It's crazy. And now I guess it's, a little bit more now. And also the thing is, yes, everybody now has a phone, but it's also now the problem is everybody very quickly calls the other party racist, whether they're black or white, or it doesn't matter. But that's also a problem, because the word racism gets thrown around very fast. So like I said, oh, you don't like this music because what? Oh, the musician is black. Oh, you must be racist. So that's also something that should be looked at a little bit. But yeah, this is just tragic. It just, you know, and I'm saying this because I grew up, you know, in a country that caused 2 world wars. So imagine how quiet it got in Germany, you know. So when I was born, it didn't exist, you know, racism in Germany. No, you know, it just was not. People were very, very, very quiet and very, you know, it's all about, you know, come into a country, you know, like it, okay, you know, here's some money, and, you know, here's a job, and here's a bed, and, you know, that's the way it was in Germany, or still is, because, I mean, yes, when you cause, you know, world wars twice, not just once, twice, then you become a country that's very, very quiet and accepting, and, you know, so that's all I know, you know. And then, yes, in Mexico, I do remember there was a guy running for president, amazing guy, very, just different. He was killed. He was assassinated on live television, you know, giving a speech. So, yeah, it's like, it's the problem, you know, people just don't, like, the people that control everything, they don't want peace. They don't want, yeah, that's just the problem. They don't want it. They want us to fight. They want us to hate each other. You know, that's the problem. And yeah, it's just difficult, you know. Okay, let's keep going, because I don't want to, like, you know, turn up dead in a lake by talking about this. But no, there's a lot of YouTube channels that really get into it, you know, and that would be something else to do. Okay, so beds are burning from diesel and dust. Never heard of so midnight oil. I think I've done one reaction, if I'm not mistaken, but let's get into it. Here we go.
Out where the river broke, the bloodwood and the desert oak, holding wrecks and boiling diesels, steaming 45 degrees. The time has come to save fair's fair, to pay the rent, to pay our share. The time has come. A fact's a fact. It belongs to them. Let's give it back. How can we dance when our earth is turning? How do we sleep while our beds are burning? How can we dance when our earth is turning?
Very good.
How do we sleep while our beds are burning? The time has come to save fair's fair, to pay the rent now, to pay our share. Before we'll scare the cockatoos from Kentar East to yonder Moo, the western desert lives and breathes in 45 degrees. The time has come to save fair's fair, to pay the rent, to pay our share. The time has come. A fact's a fact. It belongs to them. Let's give it back. How can we dance when our earth is
love it. Very, very cool. And I just looked up something, but about the song. So I did one song so far. This was an 80s marathon by Matt, and it said Midnight Oil, Power and the Passion. But this one, I love the beat. The dum, 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 dum. It sounded like, I don't know, but very good. And of course, the message is very strong. And so, like it says, the song was inspired by the band's tour, and they saw the harsh living conditions. And this is something that I don't understand, that that's something that should be something taken care of, because when there's people in the world that, like, and I don't want to throw any shade here, but if, like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, and when people are so rich, just one person, then I think there's a problem, because there's even a tweet, and I don't use Twitter. I honestly have never used Twitter, and I will never use it. But it says, I don't know who tweeted who, but I think because Musk tweeted something about world hunger, that we would cure it with $6 billion, which he has, like he has, like, I don't know, $200 billion. I don't really know, but he said it wouldn't cure world hunger, but it would at least save 42 million people. So I think that's what he would, that's what these people should do, instead of, if they're already making that much money, then, save the world. And now I can't say, oh, Elon Musk is not supposed to have that kind of money. I mean, if he somehow managed to be this wealthy, but I guess if you have this amount of wealth, I mean, it's his money, but I think there should be some kind of like law that, no, I don't want to be, the IRS, but you know what I'm talking about, I mean, there should be some kind of threshold, because I mean, he can spend that money on his own, even though if he buys, I don't know how many countries, so I don't know, it's just a thought. If there should be some kind of law that says, I mean, after 100 billion, you have to, I don't know, I don't, that's the problem, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I think where I'm going with this. I just hope they do something. People like this, there's also this Mexican guy who is he's like the fourth most wealthiest person in the world. These people should get together and help the planet, Okay, so but yeah, I love the song. Very catchy. I love those like bam, 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 bam. Very like when Yes got very commercial. Those sounds, those synth sounds. So it's A Hard Life by Nanci Griffith. And this one is about the difficulties of life with so much hatred and racism in the world. And yes, and it's so sad because it's literally still the same, It's crazy. And I love that people do, when they have a platform, they do talk about this, especially in music, So here we go with Nanci.
Backseat driver from America. They drive to the left on Falls Road, and the man at the wheels child's name is Seamus. We pass a child on the corner, he knows. And Seamus says, no, what chance has that kid got? And I say from the back, I don't know. He says there's barbed wire at all of these exits, and there ain't no place in Belfast for that kid to go. It's a hard life, it's a hard life, it's a very hard life. It's a hard life wherever you go. And if we poison our children with hatred, then the hard life is all that they'll know.
That's exactly what I was talking about. You know, that's the problem, you know, people the problem with kids is they're being taught, you know, to be hateful and to be, that's the problem. That's the number one problem, you know, because if they wouldn't learn this, there would be no hatred. And yes, there are some people that are just born evil, you know, it happens. But I don't know, maybe they went through, maybe they were not born this way. I can't really say there's people that are born evil like this. The evilness like somehow kind of like comes from within because of some trauma or some abuse. But I think so, you know. But it starts with children, you know. How can children, people that were once children, and when you're a child, you're, you know, it doesn't get more innocent. So how can you be hateful and hate someone because of the color of their skin, either if they're black or white or, you know, Chinese or Latinos, you know? It's insane. I mean, I was targeted because for being white in Mexico, they didn't like me, you know, and because I was different, and they just like, they don't like what's different, and they don't even know why, you know. So I know what it's like to be called, you know, pinche gringo and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, what is a gringo? Ah, americano de mierda, you know. And I'm like, no soy americano, you know. I'm not even American. They don't even know where the hell Germany is, you know. Some of these kids, you know. So, but that's what they get taught, you know. And that's pretty much the problem. But yeah, so yeah, but she said it really, really well here. You know, if we poison our children with hatred, then the hard life is all they'll ever know. And that's the problem in this country, because, you know, it goes both ways, not just the white kids. Also the black kids get fed, you know, like, you know, those white people, you know, they've been oppressing us and you should not like them. So from when they're little and backwards, you know, so it's like, it goes both ways. There's racism on all fronts. And that's the problem, you know, it's, yeah, it's just, you know, it's exhausting. It's so bad. But well, you know, it's just like the world we live in, unfortunately, but there's ways to get along, you know, there's really ways, and it's not that difficult, but for some people it's just very hard to, you know, to leave the path they've been going all like, I don't know, I can't really talk about this because I've seen it, and I've seen it more in other parts than like where I currently live, but I don't want to, you know, I don't want to blame, you know, a country or a state or a nation because of some people, because some people are not racist at all, you know. It's just like, it really comes down, look, where you are in the world. But well, let's keep going.
And the hard life is all that they'll know, and there ain't no place in Belfast for that kid to go. Cafeteria line in Chicago, the fat man in front of me, he's calling black people trash to his children, and he's the only trash here I see. And I'm thinking this man wears a white hood in the night when his children should sleep. But they'll slip to their windows and they'll see him, and they'll think that white hood's all they need. It's a hard life, it's a hard life, it's a very hard life. It's a hard life wherever you go. And if we poison our children with hatred, then the hard life is all that they'll know. And there ain't no place in Chicago for those kids to go. I was a child in the 60s, when dreams could be held through TV, with Disney and Cronkite and Martin Luther. And I believed. Now I am the backseat driver for America, and I am not at the wheel of control. And I am guilty, I am war, and I am the root of all evil, Lord, and I can't drive on the left side of the road. 'Cause it's a hard life, it's a hard life, it's a very hard life. It's a hard life wherever you go. And if we poison our children with hatred, then the hard life is all that they'll know. And there ain't no place in this world for these kids to go. This is a hard life wherever you go.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because it's still literally the same, you know? But at least, you know, she made an attempt, you know, in 1989. That's the thing, you know, that they just don't listen. People... It's very difficult. Okay, so now this one, Sinead. I love Sinead, you know. I haven't listened to everything, but I don't know. I just loved her voice. She was very like a controversial figure, I guess, you know, from what I've known. Like when she tore that picture of the Pope on TV, I think. Was it that? But I guess that's, you know, that's kind of like, unfortunately, that's what she's always going to be. She's always going to be remembered for that. No, don't ask me what I think, you know, about religion, because I'm not getting into it. I was raised in a Catholic school, so you you can imagine what I think about that. I mean, you know, I respect religion and I respect people that are very religious, but it's not. I'm not a fan, you know, of any sort of religion anymore. I don't know. I just think it's very positive if it helps you, you know, to be religious and it makes you happy, then you should full throttle, you know. But I think you shouldn't be. That's just my opinion, you know. I've decided that religion is not for me. You know, I do believe in God. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna follow a certain religious belief, because I rather, you know, believe in the universe, and I respect whatever God exists, you know. If there is a God, a creator, that's just how I see it. But I do respect it doesn't matter if you're Christian, Catholic, Jewish, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, if you're like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to respect your religion, but that's me. And I'll try and listen, and I'll try to understand, you know, but I personally, I don't follow any religion because I got my, you know, I got my share, and I was raised very, very Catholic, and I'm okay now, you know. So let's leave it at that, you know. So Sinead O'Connor, and this is about the person that Nicholas Bramble. Okay, let's get into it. I love Sinead's voice. I love her style, and I was very sad when I heard that she had passed. Really. So let's go.
Margaret Thatcher on TV, shocked by the deaths that took place in Beijing. It seems strange that she should be offended. The same orders are given by her. I've said this before now. You said I was childish, and you'll say it now. Remember what I told you. If they hated me, they will hate you. England's not the mythical land of Madame George and her roses. It's the home of police who kill black boys on mopeds. And I love my boy, and that's why I'm leaving. I don't want him to be aware that there's any such thing as grieving. Young mother down at Smithfield, 5 a.m. looking for food for her kids. In her arms she holds 3 cold babies, and the first word that I learned was please. These are dangerous days. To say what you feel is to dig your own grave. Remember what I told you.
See what she's saying? These are dangerous days. To say what you feel is to dig your own grave. You know, me just by doing this video, like, there's gonna be people who are gonna totally misinterpret what I say, and because they're skipping through the videos, they don't watch it from the beginning, and people are so, like, I see people leave comments. They're listening to us, listening to, I don't know, let's say Genesis, right? And they're literally typing as we were like there, like in that moment, listening to them. They ask us questions. It's like, what's going on? Like, do you think that I'm like up 24/7 listening to the music with you? Like, it's bizarre. It's really bizarre what people write in the comments. And there's a lot of comments that that you guys can't see, because they get filtered out. They're like they have to get approved because they're like, you know, you effing, you know, you don't know anything about music, and insults. You have no idea what, like, it's really like, it's crazy, you know, like really, really negative stuff. And so to do a video like this is very difficult for me because, you know, it's very, people just want to get provoked, you know. That's what they live off. I mean, not everyone, but a lot of people, you know, and they're just basically, they're waiting for someone to say something, because that's all they know, to point fingers and to try and cancel. It's very, very sad, you know. So yeah. Okay, but yeah, this is crazy. I mean, it's that I love that she, you know, literally took it and she didn't even rode around. She's literally Margaret Thatcher, you know, that like, that's for you, you know. It's crazy. I wonder what Margaret Thatcher said, you know. I remember that movie, The Iron Lady. Very good. Meryl Streep just nailed her, like the way, it's amazing, the acting. But yeah, let's keep going.
I told you, if you were of the world, they would love you. England's not the mythical land of Madame George and roses. It's the home of police who kill black boys on mopeds. And I love my boy, that's why I'm leaving. I don't want him to be aware that there's any such thing as grieving.
Very good. And now I do have to be honest a little bit with this song. You know, the lyrics are a very because she's basically blaming the entire country, and I think that's wrong. And also the entire police force of England. I'm sure not everyone. Maybe there were some, you know, sons of bitches in that police station, and yes, I think they should be punished, and I think they should go to jail. But I think maybe she shouldn't judge an entire nation. That's a little bit too much. Because she says England's not the mythical land, right? It's the home of police who kill black boys. That's just, for me, a little bit over the top. And I know what she's trying to do here, and I think she's right in everything to address it, but you can't blame an entire nation or an entire workforce, because that's when that happens, that's when people want to, you know, defund, you know. That's what happened here in the US, where people were like, okay, defund the police. We don't need the police. No, we need them. Trust me, we need the police, because without them, we're fucked, you know. So that's just, you know, that I do have to talk about this. You know, and I know a lot of people will disagree, and this is why I don't like to make these videos, because I do have to say what I think, you know. I should just react to the music, to the chords. I love that 3-chord progression. I loved it, you know. That's all I should say. But yeah, I think, you know, I'm right and I'm wrong. I think the stuff like this has to be addressed, but it should be addressed personally against these police officers, and I hope they're in jail right now, you know, for what they did. But you can't blame an entire nation because I know a lot of people in England and they're nice people, you know, they're not murderers, you know, or if I had a friend in, you know, in England who was a police officer, he would be pissed, you know, that he's being called, you know, you know what I'm getting at, right? I don't have to repeat myself so much, I guess. Okay, so this one here, you know, I understand, because if you especially if you're a U.S. citizen, I don't know if you were a fan of George Bush. I wasn't a fan of the whole Desert Storm, because I remember seeing that. I don't know how old I was, but they obviously was documented, and there's been a lot of movies, Jarhead, and you know, stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'm not pro-war, so the whole thing is just, I'm not a fan of war, and just to invade a country and get your basically the young kids involved, because all these soldiers are basically literally too young to drink and you know, to vote, most of them. And so I'm not a fan of the whole like war, so I get it. But also, you know, I'm not a fan if it's difficult, you know, so I don't know how I feel about this. Let's listen to it. Let's read the lyrics. All right, the Chicks.
I'm not sure I could. They say time heals everything, but I'm still waiting. I'm through with doubt. There's nothing left for me to figure out. I've paid a price, and I'll keep paying. I'm not ready to make nice. I'm not ready to back down. I'm still mad as hell, and I don't have time to go round and round and round. It's too late to make it right. I probably wouldn't if I could, 'cause I'm mad as hell, can't breathe.
forget. I'm not sure I could. They say time heals everything, but I'm still waiting.
All right. Beautiful song, beautiful singing, you know. And yes, I get it, you know. I get this is the aftermath pretty much, you know. And very easy. I'm not a fan. This is literally like cancel culture before cancel culture. I'm not a fan, and I think it shouldn't exist. If they say, you know, they said what they said, it's a free country. That's why it's in the Constitution to have free speech. So it's their right. If they want to sing about whatever they want to sing about, that's their God given rights in this country. And I think it should have gotten those letters. No. And, you know, I'm not, you know, I'm not into patriotism, you know, so I wouldn't have, you know, I don't know how I would have reacted. You know, that's pretty much the first thing they teach you in Germany is like that you shouldn't be a patriot, you know, because of the country, what it did, you know, before. But I mean, this doesn't apply to here. I know in the United States, it's a very patriotic country, which I respect. And I think every country should be, you know, the way they feel about their country. You know, like the French, they think they're the best. The Italians think they're the best. You know, that's just how it is. You know, every country thinks their country is the best, and you know that's that's to be a patriot. But I think you shouldn't go as far to like, if somebody offends the president of your nation, to send a death threat. I think that's too much and try to cancel, and very easy. So I think that's wrong. And then that she's mad, yes, but also like she said, you know, forgive sounds good. Forget, I'm not sure, you know. So sometimes you don't forget, but it's always good to forgive, you know. So even though she got those letters on all that negativity and that backlash, I hope she could get over it. That's how I see it. That's how I would do it, you know, because I've never gotten any death threats here on YouTube, but I've got a lot of negativity, and it's very like personal. And I don't know why, just because I listened to, I don't know, Steely Dan, and I didn't understand the lyrics, and somebody literally wants to like bash my brains in. That's crazy, you know. So I'm not a fan of all that, and so I understand. But I think the person is still at liberty to say whatever the hell they want to say, you know. Do I like it? Maybe not, but everybody should be able to, you know, be at liberty to say what they want, you know. So that's what it's like to live in a free country. And we're really lucky because there's nations where you can't say what you want. You get thrown into jail, you get executed. So we're very lucky. So I guess that's it. You know, this was very difficult. This was also very long. And so yeah. I guess, you know, it's just sad that we still live in a time where these it's so hard to talk about this because you get basically, you have to always, you know, watch what you say, and it's exhausting, you know, like literally I'm exhausted. So, but I love the music. So thank you so much, Michael. I think this was a very great idea, but I just don't like, you know, what I love the music, but I don't like, I would like to like maybe listen to this but not have to talk about everything, you know. So maybe, and it's very difficult not to talk about this stuff because I do have an opinion in the end. So it's, you know, it's a double-edged kind of like, it's a double-edged sword, you know. So but yeah, I hope you did enjoy. You know, if you agree with me, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine as well. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Whatever makes you happy. If you enjoy the channel, please do subscribe. And thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.